The Song Remains the Same album. The song remains the same as the live soundtrack album of the concert film of the same name by the English rock band Led Zeppelin. The soundtrack was recorded 27-29 July 1973 and released 3 years later on 28 September 1976 on Swan Song Records. Overview. Overview. The recording of the album and the film took place during 3 nights of concerts at New York's Madison Square Garden during the band's 1973 North American tour. All songs were recorded by Eddie Kramer using the Wally Hader mobile studio truck and later mixed at Electric Lady Studios in New York and Trident Studios in London. The sleeve design depicted a dilapidated movie house located on Old Street Film Studios in London, which was used by the group for rehearsals prior to their 1973 tour. Until both the album and the film were remastered and re-released in 2007, there were significant differences between the two in terms of the songs included on each. These differences were as follows. The film included Black Dog, but not Celebration Day. The soundtrack album included Celebration Day, but not Black Dog. The film also included Since I've Been Loving You, the introduction to Heartbreaker, the instrumental Bronner, which appeared on Physical Graffiti, and a hurdy-gurdy piece called Autumn Lake, none of which were featured on the album. In addition, of the songs that both the album and the film had in common, some of the recordings featured on the album were of different performances from those in the film. Other tracks which were recorded at Madison Square Garden but omitted from both the film and the soundtrack album included Over the Hills and Far Away, Misty Mountain Hop, The Ocean, and Thank You. 2007 reissue. The Song Remains the Same soundtrack album was reissued on CD on 20 November 2007, with the surviving band members having overseen the remixing and remastering of the original release. This coincided with the reissue of the film, released on HD DVD, Blu-ray, and DVD. The new version of the soundtrack included 6 songs that were not on the original album release: Black Dog, Over the Hills and Far Away, Misty Mountain Hop, Since I've Been Loving You, The Ocean, and Heartbreaker, plus new liner notes by Cameron Crowe. With the 2007 re-release of both the album and film, the songs were synchronized so that the full set list from the concerts was available on both, with each song mixed the same way. Kevin Shirley, who worked on How the West Was Won, was involved in the mixing. Due to legal complications, the band decided not to change the video portion of the original movie for the re-release. Instead, Shirley created an entirely new mix of the 3 1973 Madison Square Garden concerts so that the audio portion of the film would better match the on-screen visuals. The audio on the new CD release was nearly identical to the soundtrack of the new DVD release. One difference was that the songs included on the CD that were not featured in the original movie were included as bonus tracks on the DVD. The audio mixes also differed from those found on the 2003 Led Zeppelin DVD. The most obvious example is that Black Dog was 2 minutes longer on the 2003 DVD than on the 2007 releases, 2 of the 4 verses being cut from the song. On 29 July 2008, a 4 LP edition of the 2007 reissue, on 180-gram audiophile vinyl, was released. It was presented in a deluxe archival 2-piece box with foil stamping. It includes a 12-page oversized full-color booklet with dozens of previously unpublished stills from the film, as well as 4 individual jackets with new and unique artwork. A special white vinyl edition was also printed in very limited numbers. Just 200 were produced, with only 100 being made available to the public from Led Zeppelin's official website. 2018 reissue. On 7 September 2018, a newly remastered edition of The Song Remains the Same was issued in multiple formats, including a multi-disc, super deluxe box set, Blu-ray audio with a high-resolution stereo, and new 5.1 surround mix, 180-gram vinyl, CD, streaming, and downloads, including. This is based on the 2007 version of the soundtrack album and concludes the campaign of reissues of their live albums and deluxe editions of their studio albums that started in 2014. Critical reception. Upon its initial release in 1976, the album received some mixed reviews, with a number of critics considering it to be overproduced and lumbering. Indeed, the band's members themselves have since expressed a lack of fondness for the recording. Page has admitted that the end product was not the best representation of Led Zeppelin as a live band. In contrast, the 2007 reissued version received generally much more positive reviews. In a review published in Mojo magazine in December 2007, James McNair gave the album 4 out of 5 stars, as did David Kavanagh in Uncut magazine, who wrote, "The sound is vastly improved, as is the playing of the musicians due to digital re-editing of the 3 MSG concerts, presumably not so much remastered as reconstructed. The 15 tracks, 6 previously unreleased, Showboat, Strut, and Snarl." Track listing. Original release. 2007 reissue. Notes. Asterisk not on original soundtrack release. Hash shorter than the original soundtrack release. Plus longer than the original soundtrack release. Personnel. Personnel. Led Zeppelin. Robert Plant vocals. Jimmy Page guitars, theremin. John Paul Jones bass guitar, Fender Rhodes, Mellotron. John Bonham drums, percussion, backing vocals, production. Barry Diamond mastering, original compact disc release. Peter Grant executive producer. Eddie Kramer engineering, mixing. Bob Ludwig remastering, 2007 edition. Jimmy Page production. Kevin Shirley remixing, 2007 edition packaging. Cameron Crowe liner notes. George Hardy record sleeve. Hypnosis record sleeve. Charts. Certifications.